welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into something I think, well, everyone struggles with at some point. How do you actually stop doing those things you wish you wouldn't?
Right. Those bad habits.
Exactly. And we're not talking vague motivation here. We're doing a real deep dive, pulling out practical strategies from our source material on breaking those patterns.
Yeah. And the mission today is super actionable because, we often get it wrong. We focus on the habit itself, the action.
Like trying not to eat the cookie?
Precisely. But the real insight here is you got to find the cause. And then you basically flip the script on how you build good habits. You invert those laws of behavior change.
Okay, inverting the laws. So make it unobvious, unattractive, difficult, and unsatisfying.
You got it. That's the core idea for breaking a bad one.
Let's dig into that cause thing first, because that sounds key. Most people probably think the cause is, I don't know, the junk food itself or the phone notification.
That's the common idea, yeah. But the source material points somewhere deeper. The true root cause is actually the prediction your brain makes before the habit even starts.
Prediction. Explain that.
Okay, so your brain is basically a prediction machine. It's constantly guessing what's coming next based on past rewards. It's not reacting to the world objectively, it's reacting to its interpretation of the cues around you.
Wait, hold on. So seeing the notification pop up, that's not the cause.
Not exactly. The notification is the cue. The cause of the urge you feel is your brain's prediction. Tapping this leads to social connection or novelty or whatever reward I got last time.
I see.
Yeah. Think about a cigarette. Someone who smoked for years sees one. Their brain predicts nicotine reward, bang, urge. Someone who hates smoking sees the same cigarette, predicts disgust, maybe smells bad.
And feels repulsion instead of craving. Same cue, different prediction.
Exactly. The cue is neutral until your brain layers that prediction, that meaning, onto it.
Wow, okay. That changes things. It means stopping the habit isn't just about fighting the urge to tap the screen or eat the thing.
Right. It's about rewriting that prediction associated with the cue, fundamentally changing what it means to you.
Which is way harder than just saying no 50 times a day.
Definitely. Resisting temptation is exhausting. It rarely works long-term because you're fighting the prediction without changing the underlying wiring.
Okay, so if the habit loop starts with that predictive cue, strategy number one comes from inverting the first law. Make it obvious. We have to. Make it invisible.
Make it invisible, exactly. Remove the cue.
But why can't we just tough it out? Build more self-control. Why is that seen as a short-term fix?
Because self-control, well, it's like a muscle. It gets tired. And those habit pathways in the brain, once they're carved, they're incredibly persistent.
Like grooves.
Deep grooves. Resisting takes constant energy. You're draining your battery every single time. And the source material is pretty clear. You tend to become a product of your environment.
Not your intentions.
Sadly, no. The real secret to self-control isn't having superhuman willpower. It's designing an environment where you barely need willpower. Remove the triggers.
Be the architect, not the victim of your space. Okay, practical examples. How do we make cues invisible?
It's about creating friction or distance from the cue. Like, if video games are the issue, don't just turn off the console. Unplug it. Put the controllers away, maybe in a closet.
So it's not just sitting there tempting you.
Right. Increase the effort just to get started. Same with the phone, a huge one for many people. Don't just put it face down. Leave it in another room entirely until, say, lunchtime. Out of sight, literally out of mind.
And you often only need to remove that one main cue, right?
Often, yeah. Remove that first domino, and the whole chain reaction can just fizzle out before the prediction even gets going properly. It's strategic laziness.
I like that. Strategic laziness beats exhausted resistance. Okay, so we've hit the cue. What's next? The action itself. The response.
Yeah.
You mentioned the law of least effort.
Yes. We humans are fundamentally wired to take the easy option. We gravitate towards less work.
So to stop a bad habit, we need to invert the third law, make it easy. We need to make it difficult. We need to add friction.
Precisely. Increase the number of steps, the effort required to do the bad thing. Make it annoying. Make it a hassle.
But isn't that just willpower again? If I really want the cookie, I'll climb over the friction eventually, won't I?
That's where the timing of adding friction matters. You don't add it when you're craving the cookie. You add it beforehand when you're thinking clearly. You use what's called a commitment device.
Okay, commitment device. Like what?
Well, the classic, maybe extreme example is the writer Victor Hugo. struggling with procrastination on the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, I think I know this story.
Yeah, he gathered up all his clothes, everything he could wear outside, gave them to his assistant, and said, "Lock these up. Don't give them back until I'm done."
Wow. Seriously.
Seriously, all he had left was a big shawl. He literally couldn't go outside without looking ridiculous. So guess what? He stayed inside and wrote. Finished weeks early.
That is intense. He engineered massive friction.
He locked in his future behavior when his rational mind was in control, anticipating his future self's weakness.
Okay, most of us aren't locking away our pants. What are the everyday versions of this?
Much simpler things. Watching too much TV. Don't just turn it off, unplug it, maybe even take the batteries out of the remote each time.
So next time you have that urge, you first have to find batteries, put them in, plug it in.
Exactly. Just that 10-20 seconds of friction can be enough to make you pause and think, yeah, never mind. Same idea for snacks. Hide the unhealthy ones way in the back or up high where you need a stool. Add steps. Make the path of least resistance lead away from the bad habit.
Got it. Increase the activation energy for the bad stuff. Okay, cue hidden, response made difficult. But what about the reward? That instant hit of dopamine from junk food or social media? That's powerful. The bad consequences are often so far away.
That's the final piece, and maybe the trickiest. The inversion of the fourth law. Make it satisfying becomes make it unsatisfying.
Make it unsatisfying.
Our brains are wired for immediate gratification. We heavily discount future pain. So you need to inject an immediate cost, some kind of penalty, right when the bad habit happens.
An instant punishment to counter the instant reward.
Exactly. And the tool for this is often a habit contract with an accountability partner.
A contract. Sounds formal.
It can be, but it works. You basically make a pact, maybe with a friend, partner, or coach. You write down the habit you're avoiding, the goal, and crucially, a specific, immediate, and kind of painful consequence if you slip up.
Painful out, like financially?
Socially.
It needs to be something you genuinely want to avoid. The source gives this great example of Brian Harris, an entrepreneur. He made a contract with his wife and his trainer for his diet.
Okay, what were the terms?
If he failed to do simple things like log his food or weigh himself daily, he faced 2 immediate penalties. 1, no casual clothes.
Yeah.
He had to wear full, formal business attire the next day. Oof, that's annoying.
Right. Immediate social awkwardness and hassle. 2, he had to instantly pay his trainer $200.
$200, okay, that's serious.
Dead serious. That immediate financial sting, plus the dress code thing, made the tiny reward of skipping his log seem utterly pointless. The immediate cost outweighed the immediate benefit of slacking off.
So the consequence has to be swift and significant enough to matter right now.
Yes, it short-circuits that I'll pay for it later mentality by making later happen immediately. It could be less extreme too. Maybe you owe a friend $20 or have to do their least favorite chore. The point is, it needs to be agreed upon beforehand and enforced instantly.
Okay, let's tie this all together then.
Yeah.
If someone listening wants to break a bad habit, it's not about gritting your teeth harder.
Not primarily, no. It's about being smarter, more strategic. It's about redesigning your world and your choices. First, understand the cause is the prediction, not just the cue.
Right, change the meaning.
Then, invert the laws. Make the cue invisible. Hide it. Remove it. Make the response difficult. Add friction. Use commitment devices. And make the outcome unsatisfying. Implement an immediate cost via a habit contract.
You're essentially making it easy to do the right thing by making it really inconvenient or immediately painful to do the wrong thing. Proactive design over reactive willpower.
That's the essence of it. You're leveraging your own psychology, even your laziness, to your advantage.
Fantastic. Okay, final thought for everyone listening. Building on that idea of prediction and interpretation. Think about the labels you use for yourself. Things like, oh, I'm just always late, or I'm terrible with money, or math just isn't my thing.
Those identity statements?
Exactly. Since your behavior follows your predictions,
Yep.
and your predictions are shaped by these beliefs, what's just one negative phrase, one self-limiting label that you could consciously decide to stop repeating to yourself starting today? How might changing that internal prediction start to shift your actual behavior? Something to think about.